Howdy doody. Welcome back. Big block, big block, big block, big block. That's right, guys. Welcome back to Puddins Fabrication Shop. And today we are starting the big block swap on our International C900. Just playing. That's not true.
Warning, we're just having fun. If you take stuff too serious, this channel may not be for you, buddy.
But today we are playing with a big block. In fact, we're gonna take a quick trip to the best junkyard that I've been to in a long time. Let's go. All right, guys, loaded up, got trailer on. Now we ain't got the longest drive here. Shouldn't take us too awful. Yeah, looks like we're here. My, oh my, yes indeedy. This looks like the best junkyard I've been to in a long time. Oh, here she is. Head right back here. Oh my, oh my, oh my. It is the Cheyenne Super 10. Y'all see them trees flapping in the wind? Unfortunately, today is one of them days where it's like blowing like 50 miles per hour around here, so we cannot really record outside. But obviously, I've got to get this thing dug up out of here. I'm sure this thing hardly needs any work at all, according to all the parts in the floorboard. I really wish we could work outside, but let's get this thing inside where y'all can hear me. Just like that, guys, we got us a pathway cleared. All right. Oh, classic sticky steering wheel. Don't mind that. We'll look her over a little better here in a minute. Park, reversed, neutral, neutral. Where are you? We think right there. Whoa, hey, got the custom dump seat. I was gonna say, I see a wire nut hanging. I like this truck already. Oh, damn right. Got the old toggle too. Probably for the hidden nitrous. Time, guys, can't beat that. I appreciate all the support from you guys where I can finally do stuff in a way that don't take me half a morning to get a truck in here. I hope you enjoyed that little salsa. I told y'all that wind's been blowing. Look, you can tell that paint came off recently and then that's been rusting over. Damn you, Oklahoma! Oklahoma, more like Bloklahoma, because that wind's blowing so much recently. Guys, right here we have our 1973 Chevrolet pick-em-up truck. It was actually really close to where we bought the S10 from, funny enough. And the deal was just right on it, guys. Mortsky said if I didn't buy it, he was gonna buy it, and I can't let him step into my territory, so I bought it. You know, now here, Mortsky. This truck, and what caught my eye, is the super cool color, guys. Oh, I thought these had the spid underneath here. Hey, there she is. We got the owner's manual. That's pretty cool. She's still in pretty good shape, too. So now that I think about it, I think on these trucks, the spid is actually on the fender well. Or it's supposed to be anyhow. Now, someone hasn't full collapsed this hood yet. You know, these are bad about bending right in the middle. But she's kind of on her way there. It is peaked. Fortunately for us, it ain't actually creased yet, so we could salvage that. And sure enough, right here,
Moss olive with the white.
So that's the color, moss olive. And as you can see, she's a fairly solid truck.
Now up here on the bottom of the fender, you can see there's some rot and someone tried to do just some body filler repair. And there's a little bit of rust coming in. You see a little kind of surface rust on our rockers down there. But overall, like cab corners look good. Bottom of that bed. Luckily it hadn't rusted out up here. You may see a speck or two trying to fight its way through.
But guys, she's a 1973. We can't complain too much for that small amount of rust that we are seeing.
Now, I do believe her to be repainted once. Looks like we got some body filler cracking right in here, which ain't my favorite. But it also ain't a plumb deal breaker for me, obviously. Little crack on our white paint.
What is different about this C10, besides the year and the color and blah, 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 versus any other C10 that we've had or I've ever had, is what's underneath the hood. That's right, baby. We got big block power.
Looks like we got the original jack underneath there still. You can tell by the firewall it's in pretty good shape.
From what I can remember, this truck had been in 3 generations. The grandpa owned it. He gave it to the son. The son gave it then to the grandson. The grandson, I want to say, was around 20 years old. And between him and then dad, they just said they know they're not going to end up getting it on the road. I think they moved out to Oklahoma from like Arizona, so it spent most of its life out around Arizona and California, best I can remember, which probably helps it be a little better shape, rust-free. But they just, I don't know what they had going on. I know it's obviously got some issues, meaning that alternator should not just look like that.
And like I can see, I remember them saying something about they had the radiator out, and that clamp ain't good up there.
I remember them saying the brakes weren't good or something about a brake line. I don't really know. Something was wrong, obviously, with ignition, which is why there was a distributor. Come to find out, there is one in here, okay? But there's also a couple more on the floor. Like I said, always a good sign. I was so happy with the color of the truck and the overall shape of the truck, I wasn't so concerned about the mechanics of the truck. Grandpa used to have a camper on it. You got some signs of the old brackets that were on here. Of course, if you're gonna have a camper on the back of a C10, especially back in the day, you gotta have the white wagon wheels to complete the look.
No big block's gonna sound good without the chrome pencil tips on her, baby, so you know we got that custom exhaust.
But they're up in the air. Let's look underneath this. She's in a little kind of one-car garage, and it was kind of, I crawled up underneath there, and what I could see I was happy with. Stuff like those braces being pretty stinking solid. Inner rockers, all of that, guys, all that looks great. Again, we may have some surface rust on stuff, but ain't nothing actually rusted out on it. She got them helper springs on there to help with that camper. Dang, she even got the spare up underneath there still, guys. What we got for transmission? Surely a turbo 400 behind that old big block, baby. Drivetrain has definitely been leaking a lot of something. That thing is plumb coated. Starter looks fairly new. Don't let Mortsky see it. That brake line don't look terribly old. Neither is the caliper and bolts and stuff. So it looks like someone was trying to mess with the brakes at least. No hose on this side. Y'all know I like to remove the hood. That way we get good lighting. Easier for y'all to see. Yo, Spider! He gone. Got the damn dull suicide hood. It's a suicide hood because it's suicide to carry one of these by yourself. Golly. Woo, now we can see Big Mama a little easier. See what kind of shape our filter was in inside there. Oh, she's got the frame. Okay. She got some miles on her, we can tell, but at least it was there. That's good. Probably kept that from getting in there. Oh yeah, there's some little mice turds. You ever seen a flock of mice? A big old group of meese? Mm-hmm. Ooh, look at our HEI power. This thing wouldn't have came with HEI, would it? Being 73? I don't think so. At least they got the proper clipped wire. They just got it wire nutted. Oh, throttle cable looks to be in exceptional shape. A couple rat turds on top of her. Oh, I do remember this. The gentleman had said it had a coolant issue, and
It was the distance of the fan. They couldn't ever get this thing to run cool, and finally they added the spacer and got it about halfway in the shroud, and they allegedly that fixed the problem. You are supposed to have your fan about halfway into your shroud, so I'd believe it. What are we looking like at on oil? She's dark, but she's there, so that's a good sign. Smells pretty fresh. Actually tastes pretty dang fresh too. She tastes like she wants to run. Now inside, I was just curious. We hit damn HEI jackpot with this truck. We got the one in the truck. Then we got another two sitting here. Oh, this one's later model, ain't she? See all the plugs on it. Got a whole nother cap set up. Well, look at that old fan belt right there with that logo. That baby is sweet. And it looks like part of our alternator bracket's missing. So for now, we may just get this sucker out the way. Yeah. She's got the EverStart. Ooh, what a classic. And I noticed my favorite side post batteries. Let me try to grab that and see if our motor spins. I probably ain't got enough beanie weenies. Oh, I think she spun some. Yeah. Oh yeah, she did. Kind of felt crunchy, but she spun. Oh. So I'm kind of debating here. Do we want to pull the plug so we can hit her with a little looby-dooby? It never hurts. In fact, it actually helps. Also, if we pull those, we can just go ahead and Borescope since we're in there. You know, kind of see how she is looking on the inside. Y'all want to see inside the old 454 or not? All right, you convinced me. Let's look. We'll start with popping our very firm, stiff plug wires. Break them free and then zip them out. Oh, she's definitely running a little rich, and those things are plumb worn out. Got the Bosch Platinums. She may have been platinum back in her prime, but not so much now. Oh yeah. I don't know if that platinum's supposed to come to a plateau on top or a mesa or whatever you'd call that thingy, but those ding sure do. Let's see what number 6 looks like. Oh, she wasn't running as rich. One thing I did notice is none of them were over torqued, which makes me happy. Plug wire's missing right here for number 3, apparently. And I'll pop the rest off. This is my second time ever messing with a big block. Big block Chevrolet, I mean. With all 4 pulled out of this side, they'll look pretty similar to our other side, which I guess is a good sign. We just don't want to see one standing out as the bad one. All right, got our old Borescope fired up here. Let's go have a look-see in number 1. Oh, there she is. She's right at the top. A little bit of, what is that? I don't know how well y'all can see it, but that thing sure looks like a hole over there to me. Right there she is. Some type of divot or hole. It's also kind of full of carbon, which don't help with how it looks. I don't know if that's normal on these pistons or not. Like I said, I don't know much about these things. Little bit of carbon, maybe corrosion on top of those pistons, but what I can see looks pretty decent. Not bad for a 50-year-old truck. Here we are in number 3. Cylinder walls look respectable, I guess you could say. And then there's another one of those divots, so that makes me feel better, because that probably means every piston has it. Now that carbon that's on there, borderline makes it look like corrosion into the top of the piston, so surely that's just carbon buildup though. This high quality $20 Borescope I got, you know, you can really tell some fine details with it. Number 5, she's a little taller where we can see it a little better, and I still can't tell if that's just corrosion or carbon or a mixture of both. And number 7, I can see our wall good there. Having a hard time getting her down to the bottom of the piston. I seen it, there she is for a split second. Looks pretty similar. I would say a little more corrosion in this one that I can see. Nothing that scares us too bad. So let's shoot a little looby-dooby down in her. I think I just got some 10W30 in here, and that's what I'm gonna go with. Just shoot some regular old engine oil in her. Oh, helps if you get it in the hole.
Got that long boinger and I'm still missing the hole. Guys, any engine that's been sitting, it definitely 1000% cranks better for the first time, especially if you've got other stuff that may end up being a little sticky on it, with a little lube down in the cylinders. I don't care what anyone says. My favorite is when Mortsky was doing one of them old like 60s ones, and he's one of those ones who's like, why would I pull all that and spray oil down in there or something? It's gonna do fine anyways. And he was having a hard time getting this motor cranking. He different starters, different this, different that, and finally he's like, well, I'll spray some down in there. I don't think it makes a difference. And then the thing was like ring, 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 just started cranking, no problem. He proved everybody right who was telling him to put lube in it. Gulp, 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 gulp. All right, let's go down our passenger side next. Fingers crossed, we're hoping for good things. Ooh, y'all probably, there we go. Can y'all see that? Nice dirty carbon buildup on this one. Cylinder walls, again, looking all right. I kind of think that's what we're gonna see on majority of these. Hey, it helps if I turn up the brightness on the Borescope. Again, look how pretty our cylinder wall is and how not so pretty. Oh, got a couple markings there. Y'all see those two lines? Are those supposed to be there? I need all you knowledgeable people to let me know, because I'm not a knowledgeable person. Number 4 looked pretty good. Number 6, same thing, possibly the cleanest one on this side so far. And number 8, whoo, she's in the running for cleanest one as well. Our little heat shields here, they're good at holding dirt, so you may want to wipe them out if they're too bad like that one was. That way we're not shoving that debris down in there. I'm giving her a good 4 or so healthy pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, got them all. When we were looking her over, I said that starter looked like it had got hot at one point. So let's see if we can get that old starter cranking, or let's see if she's cooked. Start with pulling our old battery, and then we'll probably borrow the one out of the S10. Because if you do not watch my second channel, well, you did not see that shortly after we got that S10 back from doing the dyno tune and all that, that I managed to start slipping 3rd to 4th gear in our 4L60E. And if you guys who know 4L60Es are like, shocker. Yeah, so I pulled it out on the second channel, guys. I just need to take it and drop it off with the builder. We'll be having to put it back in this thing. She's just a damn dull parts rig. Ow. Yep. All right. Let's see, which one is our ground? Probably this one right here. It ain't hooked up, so this one's our positive. Holy corrosion. Let's clean that sucker up. Safety first. That just helped our electrical connection by at least 212%. Whoa! Our key's on, because as I'm doing that, I'm hearing stuff. Oh! The old blower motor's trying to come alive here. Our bolt's nice and stripped out on this one. Dag nabbit. I'll be tearing up my battery now. If all else fails, redneck it. Get us a regular old bolt, a few washers shoved in there. And hopefully that'll give us a few more threads to bite. Yeah! Oh yeah, nice and tight, as you can tell. Do not fear, add one more washer. That's just what the doctor ordered. Turn our key off. Clean up our head there, and for now, I'm gonna just ground that where our alternator was. Looks like we got pretty fresh bare metal down here on the frame. So I'm assuming they were ground into there and then going off of there to the motor somehow. Our 3/8 bolt ain't gonna fit that, so we're gonna have to drill her out. Now for any engine, guys, you always want a really good ground. I like to ground straight to the motor, not to the frame. Like on big block, something that's gonna be taking a lot of power to get it cranking over, you dang sure want a good ground on it. Yeah. Get your cotter pin out, folks. We're gonna try to start this truck. Hold on, that's not true. We're gonna try to get this truck cranking. Now we do have a key, and I'm sure we could reach in there and bump it and get it cranking. However, when you're doing this stuff by yourself, y'all know everybody likes to use them little helper switches, so I think we should just get ours hooked up. On our old Chevrolets, we're usually looking for a pretty thick purple wire, which I think that one looks purple. Yeah, she does down there. I don't know if y'all's gonna be able to tell it's purple, but also usually because it's going to your starter solenoid, it's usually the thickest wire. What I'm gonna do is take a little baby cotter pin and I'm gonna try to shove it in to right there. And then if I have success, then we can hook our wire to this to feed that, and we don't have to try to fish it down around that exhaust into the starter and everything. As you can tell by the shape of that cotter pin, I'm off to a solid start here. I swear I've made this work before. Grab this a little bit thicker cotter pin. This sucker's tight fit though. Yeah. We'll connect that on there. And this is the bad part, is our battery's usually plumb way over here, which maybe we can feed off of this, which is our wire for our alternator. One way we can tell is a quick spark test. Yeah, she's hot. Doing stuff like that's real good for the battery. Feed our switch off of that, slip our little rubber over it, hopefully. There we go. We can feed our switch off that. Slip the little rubber booty for no more spark attacks. Now, if we're making contact in there, we're gonna pull that trigger. We're gonna make contact to our solenoid. The starter is gonna kick in. She's gonna crank, crank, crank. And because we put oil down in these cylinders, we may even get a little splash attack from them. Come on, old girl, 454. Don't you know it's time to crank some more? Dang it. That's quite the buildup for that. That's my cotter pin trick letting us down, no doubt. Yeah. Let's try again. Come on, you big block Chevy, won't you crank, 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 because I know you're ready. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Woo, that big old baby's moving some air, ain't she? It was like, y'all thought I was crazy with the cotter pin trick, huh? Guys, she's cranking. Now, I am about to just pop in the house and make me a quick sandwich because my belly's grumbling. But before I do that, I am gonna shoot some more oil down in there just because it don't hurt nothing. We've got nothing to lose, and possibly lubed up rings on pistons freeing up to gain. Got this side lubed up too? I'll go grab a quick bite. Num, 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 num. All right, guys, feeling a little better now. Anyhow, let's crank on this thing one more time. I'll say it one more time. Oh yeah, she's sounding good. Guys, I'm gonna go ahead, before we do something with them plugs, because they at least need cleaned on, I'm slapping the compression tester in there. Now, every time I do this, someone tells me, you can't check compression. All right, the motor ain't ran, blah, blah, blah. Guys, you can check compression, because if you go to run that motor and it don't run, everyone knows the motor needs a few things. It needs fuel, it needs a spark, obviously it needs some air, but also it's got to compress that stuff. And there's been ones we've not had run because the compression was so low. And even doing an initial test before it fires up and heat cycles and all that, a compression test will still let you know, like, hey, you should have enough for it to fire up, or you may not. Now, I'm not suspecting that it's gonna be bad. I think, in fact, it's gonna be good. I have high hopes for this old gal, but you can't tell me doing one don't do you no good. Oh, it does. Especially when it don't take long, since we already have our plugs out. Get that threaded in. We want to take our big old quadra-bogger 479 here, crank that baby open. I can tell that is not working well for me. Try and get the sucker propped open where we can get some air through it. Sounds like the wind's about to take the dang roof off this place. Jeez, it is bad today. All right, hold on. I get us enough screwdrivers, eventually we'll get this thing opened up somehow. There we go. Crawl on up here. Oh yeah. That's what she needs. That's gonna have her sucking air.
Never seen this. You can tell how much I look at my whiteboard. Chris left us a little joke. What shoes do ninjas wear?
Sneakers.
Don't ever write a joke that terrible on my board again, Christopher. Jeez, dude. You're gonna write something on there, it better be good next time. Don't put that in there, Chris, neither.
I don't want people knowing that actually when I'm talking to you and we're not making the video, you know, that I've had enough of your stuff. So, you know, the attitude I give you does not need to make it into this video. You hear me?
All right, here we go. Number one, let's have some fun.
I can feel it moving in my hand. Oh, shoot. All right. $1.60, $1.65. This baby's gonna be ready to tow a trailer house with those kind of numbers. We need those across the board. Swap her over to number three. Number three, let's get buck nasty. Holy cow, guys. Put a space shuttle behind this thing, it'll tow it. $1.80. I don't think we've hit $1.80 since the 1977 Datsun wagon we had. Obviously back at the old shop, formerly known as Aunt Dorothy. Well, you're gonna be a little powerhouse, aren't you? Damn $1.80. Yeah, I think that'll be enough compression for it to run. Well, that much compression on those two, this thing would run as a 2-cylinder. Ooh, come on, come on, come on. Number 5, jump and jive. Oh, I found the weak one. This gauge is a little, she's a little finicky sometimes, so let me give her a couple more turns here and we'll try one more time. Get it together, number 5. Yeah, a little more respectable. I think she got up there to about $1.40. All right, number 7, let's send her to heaven. Woo, $1.80. Let me hop on over here. Number 2, yabba dabba doo. All right, baby. Clean on $1.80 as well. Number 4, don't you dare be a dirty little. Sore, as in sore loser. Yeah, see, I had a suspicion. She's good for about $1.40. Let's go, number 6. Let me see your bag of tricks. Woo! New all-time record, perhaps $1.85. Let me feel here. Let me feel. Oh, number 8 feels pretty good. I think we've got another $1.80 or so right here. Number 8, show them you're great. Oh, I misjudged it. About $1.30. So I was getting overly confident there, wasn't I? Yeah, about $1.30 is all she's got. $1.30, our lowest one. Overall, some pretty good numbers. And I will not argue with anyone, those numbers are gonna change, guys. One, you gotta remember what we're soaking the cylinders with, oil. That'll get down there and it's gonna go around the outside and where your rings are, it soaks down in there and it actually helps your piston ring seal and usually bumps your compression numbers up, which could be explaining some of our 180, 185s being way up there. This motor could just be that good and we may run it some and some stuff free up and all those numbers come up. However, if I was a betting man, if we get this thing running pretty good and let it heat cycle a couple times and we were to check it again, I'd bet most of our 180s are gonna come down some and then our like 130s and 140s, they're gonna come up some and it's gonna kind of balance out in the middle. And hopefully by the end of this video, we can check it again, see if that's right, or I'll be wrong on camera, which will most definitely not be the first time in my life. Those numbers do let us know that this thing should definitely be willing to run for us though. So that's a good feeling. You start getting down like some 90s and below, and that don't mean it won't run, but maybe you'll know you may want to use a little higher octane fuel or maybe even some starting fluid to get it to bust off if you're having a hard time. If you ain't making enough compression, you're gonna have a hard time getting it to run at first. But doing those heat cycles like we talked about to bring it back. Let's give these spark plugs a little redneck rebuild. Get them pot counted up.
Quick little ride on that wire wheel and she's practically brand new. When I said she's gonna tow a trailer house, I meant a double wide with it all connected, one big one. That just got me so excited I accidentally shot saliva down my lip. I was salivating. Never mind, I'll shut up. I still think that's a goofy style plug, but that style of plug cleans up real easy on the wire wheel. I'll give it that. Gapped right at 40 thou, which having a HEI, that should be pretty good. 40 thousandths is what we're after. Oh, she's a little tight. She's a little big. She is real tight. That one snugged up about 35 thousandths. So never hurts to check your gaps, even on some old turd you just bought. Just playing, baby. Don't call it a turd right next to it. You'll tick it off. No, you should not use power tools to install your spark plugs. Be smarter than me, folks. Usually when that kind of bottoms out when you're going easy like that, it's actually just about right though. That should do it. Now mainly because I stripped out 2 of them on this side, I'm not going to show you that side. Don't worry about that. I'm just playing, guys. Don't get all worked up. Let's pop our old plug wires right back on. Well, those sure do pop on nice. Maybe that's a good quality plug wire even though they're old or something. Pop on number 1. And let's do a little confirming here, because that means what? Number 3 wire's missing. So they're saying this one's number 1. 1, 8, 4, 3. But number 6 is off over there. Hold on. We got something funky going on here. Number 1 should be up here. We follow it to over there. Or was this one going up here? Or was it going down there? It feels like it's going right to there. That's the shape it was in. However, it can reach to right there. So 1, 3. Okay, is number 5 missing then? 1, 8, 4, 3, 6. 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. They've got some stuff backwards. How do we even know we can trust number 1? Whoa, I guarantee you we can't. 1. The next one is going to number 2. What's going next? Damn, to number 3. Did they just count in order? They've got 1, 2, 8. 1, 2, 8, 4. Golly. Well, if they could get it running, I think I just found out why. Let's not trust anything they have going on at this point because it's too wonky. Let's do what we should do, which is let's just pull number 1 here. And let's set this old girl at top dead center. I'm glad we checked that instead of just trusting that there's a plug wire missing from there and there and hooking it up. All right, let's put our finger plug in here. Dang, a little harder to get to on a big block. Started to hit some compression there. Now I'm looking for some marks. Nope, went a hair too far. But now I know what I'm looking for. Oh, just about nailed it. Shoved our tester in there because my finger couldn't quite reach. And that big gap right in there should be 0. And you can see we actually went just a hair past. But that should pretty well be close enough. So now let's pop our cap off and see where we're pointing. Is that thing even clamped down? May not even be clamped, who knows? Oh yeah, around them rat turds, I see a bolt in there. All right, let's crawl up in here and see what we got going on. There ain't no way I'm getting that last one. Not with this screwdriver. Got 3 of them, so maybe we can wiggle it off there. Yes, sir. Holy cannoli. Guys, look over here plumb where this thing's pointing. It's pointing at number 2. So it looks like to me that this one would be number 1, and they've got it running over here to number 2. So yeah, we've got a whole situation. I think our rotor's pointing about right in there, so I know our timing's off. And hey, looky there. Sure enough, this sucker is loose. That'll help us get our cap or a little hold down started on the back, and then we can rotate that. Obviously we're gonna have to time on this thing at this point. And I think we're pointing about right there. So instead of cranking that one plumb over and back, I think we're gonna move that right there and make this one number 1. So let's start popping these. This one here is our one that's actually running down to number 1 plug. So that'll go there. 1, 8. So we'll pop off our next one. 1, 8. That's this one here. 1, 8, 4. That one right there runs down to number 4. 1, 8, 4, 3. This one right here is running to number 3. Up next we need 6. That is that one right there. Ooh, that's gonna be a little tight. Had to flip-flop that one so it wasn't like to each other. Now this one here, this one they had running to 7, but that should be 6, 5, then 7, so that one missing. So we'll need to find a plug wire to put on there to take down to number 7. That one goes to number 5, and then I'd pop this one on. We started number 1 here, so right here is gonna be number 2. That's what we've got going there. So let's see if we can find us a plug wire. I don't remember if there's one in the truck or not. Well, well, well. What indeedy do we have right here? Well, I ain't curious if they didn't have this obviously plumb mixed up, and I was thinking they had ignition problems and that's why they had that many distributors. I don't know. I just know with number 7 on there. Up next, we're gonna try to get this thing to spark, and we are not gonna do that unless we have 12 volts going to this wire nut that has a chewed on wire. Got a green wire running right there. Not sure what that is. We can eventually find a 12 volt key, a 12 volt hot wire to hook to that. But for now, we can just run a jumper wire to it and see if we're getting any spark. Now steps like this are very crucial. So don't just half-ass it, guys. Get your wire nut back on there. Professional. All right, we'll take that right here to her. Woo! She's doing something because I felt that, touching that. What'd you shock me for? Got me a little gun shy now. Let's pop our spark plug on number 1. We'll ground it right there. See if we've got spark. Jumper wire's hot, going live. Oh yeah, y'all see that? Real good looking spark. That baby looks nice and hot. Breaking news, breaking news. Sorry I got distracted. If y'all pay attention at all, you know down at Dad's, we've had thieves stealing all of our scrap metals, car parts, just stuff out of our old houses, all kinds of stuff. But when I was on the toilet, TMI, and browsing Marketplace, guess what I came across? Some of my old car parts. Guess where they are allegedly located? Pretty damn close to Dad's. Guess who has pictures of these in his old videos and can prove those are the same ones? Me. I really want to start taking care of that and quit working on this, but really I need to work on this. So I sent it to Dad. Dad works at the jail of all places, so he can start searching names. Yeah, these folks have been in here before on drug charges, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you ain't gotta be damn Sherlock Holmes to figure this one out, folks. On her previously sold stuff, one of Dad's cast iron, like wood stoves that we had stored down back, it was on there marked as sold. So besides just my parts, Dad recognizes a couple of his things. Be like, damn, you ain't got a quick change rear end to go with these hubs, do you? Yeah, they stole my quick change rear end too. Anyways, that kind of got me sidetracked as we link some of that together. Back on this, we're about ready to bust her off, but then you see stuff like that. What is that? That's a major vacuum leak just waiting to whistle at us. So instead of letting that run and that whistle, that has been chewed through, it looks like. We'll fish that around here and hope she's got enough to reach, what she does. So we'll just pop that on. There's one vacuum leak fixed. Woo! Looks about right. Get us a chunk of this. Yep, big step up here. Looks like the hard line that goes down to our vacuum modulator thingy mabobber for transmission. This hard line right here. Good thing I crawled up in here with no knife. And that's gonna be a big old vacuum leak, because that is going right there to our intake manifold. So we'll connect that back. That'll keep it shifting a little happier. Oh, that one going to our vacuum advanced had fell off. That's loosey-goosey. She won't run. Damn, boys. A vacuum leak, some firing order will get you. Snip that in, put that back on. That's still a little loosey-goosey. We ought to replace that with a smaller piece. What's this one running over to? It is also coming off this intake manifold. Probably something with our HVAC or something silly. Check our big one going to that. That looks okay. So as long as we cap this, we'll probably be all right for now. Oopsie daisy. I found what that one was going to. So there's our small one there. This vacuum line is running inside, so that's going to our HVAC. This is our reservoir. And then if I feel underneath here again, on this back side right here, that's where this one should have been running over to. Don't worry about that. Like I said, for now, we'll just cap it or plug it. One shiny new piece of vacuum hose. Move that one down to the lower side, and then blop, pop us a cap on that top one. I think she's ready to try to fire, guys. St. Patty's Day was just the other day, so I'm gonna give it some of that good green stuff. It also matches the paint. It's also 93 octane with a little oil mixed in to help lubricate that upper cylinder heads, plural. I always like to have my safety glasses on when we start one for the first time, because there's a lot of time, guys, especially here in Oklahoma, there's dirt daubers and stuff that you don't see on some accessories, rat crap, rust, who knows what else, and stuff flings out of there, so you want to protect your eyes, I'm telling you. I'm gonna just put some down in here. Let's get our coil hot and going live. Woo! Hold on, what the heck? Smoke shot out over here. How can smoke shoot out? Like spark plugs are loose. I mean, that like pop, pop, pop. Let's see. What the heck? What is going on here? How's that happening? As y'all can see, she's wanting to do something. I just don't understand. You can't get much tighter than that. Oh, you know what? Where's that one? How come I've got two of them off? What's happening here? I got myself backwards. Why'd I have that one off? Guys, those are snug. What in the Sam hell we got going on here? Let's see. Come on, baby. Oh, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna smoke us clean out of here. I still don't know why we're shooting exhaust out of this side, but who cares? Let's get her running. Maybe we'll get this side smoking too. Oh yeah. Let me try filling up our bowl right here. All right. That's also what I meant is, let me try covering this. So if we get a good backfire, she'll go up in flames. Let me move our distributor back just a hair there. Oh yeah, she liked that, didn't she? You liked that, didn't you? Let's burn her down. I should have watched a little closer when it was shooting smoke to see where that was coming from. Now it ain't doing it. There we go. Took a little more timing out of it. I mean, she sounded like she was running on about 4 cylinders, but hell, she was running. A victory's a victory, guys. That's gonna be me when I catch them thieves. Well, she's running. I'm not gonna lie. It's not running as good as I thought she was going to. Now, I do know we're just going off the bottle, so, you know, take it for a grain of salt. But I thought we were going to get her going a little better than that. Take some more timing out of her. Yeah, it seems like the more timing we keep taking out, the happier she is. So I bet that's what's going on with some of that. Boy, I better get us some ventilation going in here. It is smoky as can be. Don't worry, Mother Nature's blowing like hell today. She'll suck it out of here in no time flat. Y'all probably can't see, but I can literally see the smoke just sucking out. You really want to empty it up, watch this. Woo, give her a little ventilation. She's gonna be clear in about a minute. Oh yeah, she's clearing up already. Theo's like, what the heck are you doing, dude? Why you got that wind whipping in here now? Don't you yell at me. Well guys, we have semi-success. Our 454 is running. She's not knocking or clanking or ticking, any kind of scary noises like that. So that is indeed a victory. I'll tell you what's a loss. I got to look in here and I'm like, what do we need to kind of button some of this up? Obviously a fuel system would be nice. And then some type of cooling system, you know, taking care of stuff like that. And I was like, well, I need to get something on this. And as I thought that and spun that, do you hear that? And then if I pick up on this, y'all probably can't hear it, but I can feel it. There's all kinds of play in this water pump. This water pump's chewed up. So I think they were having cooling issues, but having a flex fan and a chewed up water pump back when they were having cooling issues definitely was not helping them any. So let me get on the phone and see if I can't get one of those ordered, because I don't believe I have one. Well, I couldn't get my parts lady, but I looked it up online, and my local store right up the road shows to have one in stock. That's what's awesome about living around here, where there's a bunch of clapped out old beaters still on the road. Usually most stuff like this, we've got her in stock, baby. So before we worry about getting that, I kind of want to hook up a fuel system just to see if this carburetor's gonna half work. Let's see if this carburetor's gonna plumb leak out somewhere. That way we got to figure out if we need to be getting into this carburetor too. Hopefully not. I kind of just want to do a standalone fuel system where we ain't got to mess with any of this crap. But we've got a hard line that goes up to here. So maybe we'll just come off our pickup line and see if our fuel pump is good or not. We jack this baby up in there and we can get to that pump a lot easier. Put this little cut on that. Maybe we can pop her off there a little easier. To be fair, I said maybe. Well, get your stubborn butt off there. Don't worry guys, she only whooped me a little bit. I finally got it off there. That's good, I just broke our clamp. We're doing good work here, folks. And now I got our new one stuck. All right, got us a new clamp on there. I was kind of wanting to just cap that. That one's too big. There we go. Get one that fits a little better. Now we don't want that come off there. So we'll put another clamp on that. And it'll break because we only use the finest of quality parts around here. There we go. There we go. Get us a good quality gas tank here. And hold that like that where it starts to leak out. We pour fuel all over us where we smell good when we go in the house. Get that baby venting a little better. Went ahead and dropped our fuel line in our gas tank. Got us a little more petrol in our bottle here because we're going to try to get her running off the bottle, or hopefully that pump will start pumping and pick up some fuel out of there. Come on, baby, be good to us. Come on, old girl. Is she pumping? Oh, she was running pretty good there. I don't see any fuel yet. I'm about maxed out on the amount of timing. I can move that too. I moved her to the max and it seemed to be running a little better there. Hey! That sounded I still don't think we got fuel. Oh, something's doing something. I don't know what that was, but I heard liquid doing something. I think we got fuel. Huh. Seem to be running there. Dang sure don't like to idle. Oh yeah, we got accelerator pump now. We had a little bit anyhow. Turn our idle up a hair. This thing just sounds like, I don't know if it's just the air the carburetor sucking in, but it almost sounds like a vacuum leak somewhere. We run out of fuel. Well, that was weird. Do you see when I opened that, it busted right off? I'd say kind of safe to assume that something about that carburetor ain't happy. If we're choking it, it's running, so maybe as that choke's opening, there's too much air compared to the fuel it's getting. Maybe it ain't getting enough fuel. Just kind of thinking out loud here. And that's what I would think. What's funny is the plugs were running like it was, or were reading like it was getting way too much fuel. Tried firing it up again. It's got the self-adjusting carburetor, obviously. I tried firing up again and it just fired right up. I'd cranked the idle way up, so that's what I just tried cranking it down. I looked up in there and I could see a lot of fuel spraying in there. So, I still don't know where we're at on timing. I don't know if we need to take some more out. If we need to take more out, I actually need to rotate our plug wires once again. So I've got number one right here. So I pop number one off, I pop number two off. Now we'll take number one back to there. And then where this one was pointing, we're basically gonna take that one right up to in there. And now we've got a little more left forward, but we've got plenty more of going back that way. And I'm not sure where we need to be actually. I think we're gonna have to get her idling a little better before we can check that, but this ain't gonna hurt to try any. You know what? Let me unhook that wire before I ride the Lightning. So of course everything just gets rotated one position back, and then that one right there should be number two, the first one we had popped off. Wonder if that sucker's flooding it out now. Let's try cranking this wide open, putting a ton of air in there. Y'all don't think it's cause that right there, do ya? Dummy. I broke that, didn't realize it. There's a little more respectable idle. Yeah, big old vacuum leak, dummy.
Friends on Facebook and stuff like that, so.
Well, it's probably better they go out there than me anyhow.
Well, yeah, oh yeah. No.
Go out there with a camera strapped to my forehead. I'm just looking for some parts.
Yeah.
Y'all seen any? I've been wondering if these people stilling's been following us, and that's how they. I'm like, them dummies didn't get this rear end. This rear end's worth $1,000. Next week it's gone.
What?
So Dad, working at the jail, he walked about a block over to the sheriff's office, and he did his own little research. He looked at the name of the seller of our stolen parts, and then somehow linked it to some database system that shows you property owners, and then lo and behold, the trail that leads off our place where they've been stealing stuff, or off Dad's place, I mean, the seller's mother-in-law owns the piece of property right behind Dad's where I found that trail. Quite convenient. So he went to the sheriff's deputies, and he told them, start kind of name dropping some people, and they said I guess Dad said when he name dropped that property owner's name, they go, yeah, we know who you're talking about. So they asked Dad for the pictures of those hubs that they had stole, and they're just a Willwood, like, dirt track hub is what I'd call them. Those babies right there, I really don't need them. We probably won't ever do anything with them. It's more about the principle, and then thinking those were gonna bring them an extra $100 instead of scrapping them. They listed on the marketplace and they got themselves caught. So they have that. They have, which is not the greatest picture, but that's a screenshot from my video from back in the past. And you can see the really rusty lug nuts. You can also see some of the A-arm, and y'all probably can't see on there, but there's the gold cross shafts. So you can see the rusted lug nuts, and you can see the gold cross shafts in the other pictures and stuff. Now there's enough there, you can tell that's it. And then I bet they're going out to the house right behind Dad's. There's enough evidence that he said they're gonna let them hand stuff over, and if they don't want to hand stuff over, they're gonna let them know they'll go get a search warrant, and then they'll be back to see what else they can find. So hopefully this will scare those people enough to keep them off of Dad's property, stop stealing his stuff. I don't have anything valuable out there anymore. They took it all. In fact, most of the somewhat valuable stuff is gone off there now. Anyhow, back to this. Got our timing light on, plugged our vacuum and vents, gave this thing a little more time to cool down. I know this ain't gonna be the most accurate timing job, but since it will kind of idle down now, we'll see how close we are. And she dies. That's fine, we were gonna kill it anyhow. It was way past our timing marks, so take some out of it, and right now it should be sitting back around, I don't know, 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever the last timing mark on there is, which should be close enough for now. Am I live? I'm live. Welcome back, and thanks again for tuning in. Breaking news. Me and Slick are headed to get some of my missing parts that have been recovered.
They're not missing, they were stolen.
Yeah, they're missing like they grew legs and walked away.
Yeah. Somebody wasn't borrowing them, they were stealing them.
This is the weirdest thing ever, because I don't know why we're allowed to go to the Steelies house to recover our own stuff. They said they can't fit that rear end in the back of their stuff. So they said we can come get it. Also said maybe we can identify other stuff. Seems weird to me. I'm not the detective. I didn't just locate all this stuff.
We're gonna go there and there's just gonna be a bunch of junk that's all stolen. Like a bunch of bicycles.
It's just all my junk from Dad's. They've just relocated it.
I figure it's probably a bunch of like copper and everything else. I mean, usually.
Alright, well, I've never been down this way. This is a private road and takes you towards the backside of Dad's place where they've been carrying the stuff through. That sucker's picked over.
It ain't got no copper in it.
Dude, this is the Wild West. I don't feel like we should be allowed to be out here. I feel like they should just bring us our stuff. It's crazy that this snake's down around Dad's place to the backside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's actually not even the piece of property that would butt up to Dad's. So that means they're then carrying it down the road a little bit too. Dude,
This is crazy.
what are we doing right now? Dude, this is a chop shop. This is just quite literally a chop shop.
There's so many motorcycles and mowers and stuff, guys. It's insane. Well,
We got her back.
we got our quick change. I don't know. This don't seem,
Safe.
yeah, safe to me.
There's a burned out. What is that? A van or something?
Yeah, that used to be a camper.
Was.
Who knows what's going on? I mean, we know what's going on.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can tell everything's sorted.
Yeah, we know what's going on. I don't know why me and Slick are allowed to be out here right now, and it was my only option for getting my crap back. So we'll get out of here, and then I'll finish telling y'all about it. I ain't gonna show none of these neighbors' places too much, and but we got what we needed, which was our missing stuff. Slick just pointed out as we were driving by, there's a opening cutting the fence, and there's a pathway going up the hill.
It's there. You can see exactly where people have been walking.
Wonder where they're headed.
Yeah.
Over to our place. Well, we got it. I don't think anyone's gonna be charged with anything, which I don't understand why. I really don't care if they're charged. I just wish they would stop stealing stuff from Dad's. And the lady, I guess, who owns the place said they're going to. Like I said, whatever. I got the last of my stuff back, and as far as the other stuff that's stolen, it's probably scrapped or...
It could have been out there. It would have took hours to dig through all that stuff.
Not really. They would just have to actually secure the place where we could look through it instead of saying, yeah, the guys who stole the stuff are in the camper watching y'all, by the way.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was a little awkward.
A little awkward. Hello. We're here.
Where'd you guys got our stuff?
Yeah. Well, for today, about 4:40, we'll probably call that a wrap. As I head through town, I will get the water pump for the big block, and we'll be back on her in the morning. I did get us a water pump, guys. So this is gonna be going on this old girl, hopefully. I'm not sure what belts we're gonna need, because here, I had them write it down for me at the parts house. Let's see. One of them shows for power steering, and that's all it said was to power steering. So it's probably this very inside one, and I think that one is just supposed to go from the lower pulley to our upper pulley. That's it. I was wanting to run one off of this one into the lower pulley and then off our water pump, and I was going to leave the alternator out. But the alternator belt was the one in the system that shows it's supposed to go from the lower pulley to the water pump and the alternator. So we're going to have to do some figuring out there, obviously, where we can get the water pump cranking. And then we can pop this on real quick, like. I mean, as much as I enjoy our nice bolt plug there, we can put us a new PCV valve on this sucker. And I'll even try not to break this one. Pop this back on from messing with our timing a little bit yesterday. Pop, slip, whoop. You dirty little dog. All right, explain this. He remembers the missing drive shaft bolt from the Toyota. Look what I just found in your house, Theo. Explain that. Were you working with those guys? Were you helping them steal stuff? Because explain this, huh? Why do you have my glove? Why do you have my glove? We'll start with removing some hoses, especially since this side's already disconnected. You know there ain't nothing in here. Might as well just get her out of the way. How come I have a stinking suspicion that this radiator's gonna leak out? This thing just looks like it's gonna have a radiator that leaks. Who agrees with me? Comment down below. Oh, that looks great. Ooh, that is 100% what we were hoping to see in our cooling system. Most folks don't know that when you see rust like that, it's actually a good sign, because all those big chips of rust, as the heat transfers into that metallic surface, and then it goes to flow through, it actually helps to transfer the heat better. And then it flows into your radiator, or it's sure to pack it. Woo! Yeah! Of course, we got the stubby wubby hose that we're gonna have to disconnect too, if possible. Ooh, crunchy. Pull the old custom fan set up. Boop. There goes the pulley. Yummy. Here's the rest of our alternator setup. That reveals, maybe y'all can see our lower radiator hose. Holy cow. This thing sounds like it ain't been to a chiropractor in 100 years. There we go. That's what the chiropractor says. Just relax a little, let me have that. There you go, deep breath out. Oh, that's the pop we were looking for. Now roll over on your side for me. Okay, that's great, Tiffany, you're doing well, okay. Big old deep breath out. Oh, that's what we were hoping to hear right there, sister. I'm gonna need you to get up and walk that one off, okay? You did great. What, you want some of these chiropractor skills or what? Oh, man. Well, she split. I didn't mean to. That was actually breaking off there, doing good. And then I ripped it clean in half. Holy cow, that's just full of rust too. These little hose hooks are great little tools for popping that stuff free around there. We gotta get this big mama right here, guys, holding our power steering pump adjustment. I thought you looked 3/4 inch. Holy bolt. You know, pull our water pump. I'm gonna get this bottom one first, or make sure we can get it wherever it's at. There we go. All right, you're coming with me. Yummy, once again. Now they were saying this thing was having cooling issues. I do recall that. It surely could not have been because the motor needs flushed like really, really bad. Guys, there's rust flakes as far as I can feel in there. I broke them off now. I mean, we're here, so might as well, right? Right. Just see how good it looks in there as well. Exactly what we were hoping to see. And there don't look as bad as everywhere else, at least. I mean, that don't look great, but down in here don't look as packed as what other stuff did. You gonna carry this for me? Here, that right there is our gas tank mount. I need you to take it to the truck. Good boy. Hey, I know you want to help more, but you can't twist that. You ain't got hands. All right. Next, we'll go for our custom gas tank mount. She's the high elevation quick release feature. This one's heavy. Pusher, get the little push tug deluxe. Now, as y'all clearly see, this bumper is perfect. So we don't want to be tearing it up. Let's get a little isolation in here, huh? Gosh darn these cheap zip ties. You know what they say, if a cheap zip tie won't hold it, then cheap duct tape will. They make this duct tape out of damn recycled tarps. So it looks like that's guaranteed to stay on for at least 2 foot. That's going nowhere. Yeah! Well, I don't know about this. I'm just picturing staying on the gas and it gets going and it just heads out and it either turns and it smashes in the front of the Stout, or we just have a T-bone collision with the old man van. He's running laps. Let's do the toe roll and do what she was trained to do. Oh yeah, get out of there, buddy. That'll freeze your paws clean off this morning. You're gonna look funny with no paws, just 4 little nubs everywhere. Dang, how about we just scrub down these old grabbers, huh? The old general grabber. This thing looks more like the General Dollar. Seen some chunks come out of that side, but what's flowing out of there now is pretty clean water. Little chunk or two come out of there. Oh, there we go. Look at that dirty stuff. There we go. Now we're doing her some good. That's just dirt. I mean, those aren't big chunks, but if that's enough where that water's brown, that's what we're hoping to do here, folks. So is it gonna help us get this other side if we go like this? Apparently the answer is no. I thought maybe if we force some water flow this way, we may see it come out this side. What kind of spider is that? I'll give y'all one guess. Yeah! If you guessed that one, you are correct. Here comes all the spider activists. Save the spiders. Yeah, right. You better save them from these damn worn out Skechers, because everyone I find's getting a old sketchy to it. We finally got her full of enough water that she is coming out of that side though. That side cleared up. That side's still pretty dirty looking. So like I said, we ain't doing her the best of good, but we are doing her a little good here. I shoved our hose in that port, and the amount of brown crap that come out of there was pretty stinking good. She's finally cleared up on us. Yeah, get on in there. Y'all see that? Direct port injection right there. Little pro tip, when you go to move that hose, make sure to spray it all over the top of the motor. That way it mixes with that rat poop and dirt and stuff real nice. Rat turd down the carburetor never hurt nothing. Oh, I'm seeing some more brown stuff we're blowing out of there. Oh yeah, some of those big burps, they got big old chunks. How's a Pike County power washing where you spray her down with your hose and then hit it with an air blast? Let her push back in. We'll go ahead and use our little super scraper here and get these surfaces clean. I mean, clean enough for this thing anyhow. See, the front of this motor has pretty low standards. See, pretty filthy. Let's go ahead and rebuild these. Clean threads are happy threads. I even give them a drop of oil since they're here. It's here. Now, I don't think I've ever done a water pump with the little stubby wubby. So I'm betting we pretty well got to have that on the new one already so we can slip it all on kind of one motion. The motion of the ocean, baby. Did not realize this is actually a 2-port setup. And it comes with this, but this ain't even really a barb. There ain't no lip or it ain't knurled or nothing to help hold the hose. I'm sure just whatever they could whip up cheap. That goes in this one. And I guess we got to plug this one. Yeah. Let's not get too worried about paint here. We don't want to make the rest of them accessories look bad, okay? All right, knowing we got to wiggle around this. Oh, I'm gonna start by dropping our gasket down there. That's good. Reload. I'm gonna try doing this side first. And I still dropped that out of there. I got more room than I thought I was gonna have though, so that's good. That's good. Got both them started. That was a hard side, and it wasn't even hard.
That's what she said.
Let's tighten her down. Take her to Torque Town. Oh, hold on. Back up. What in the terrible mechanicking? Can y'all see that gasket hanging out the side? I missed. Guys, you do not want to miss the hole.
That's what she said. Or he said.
Try again. We got it that time. All right, do y'all hear this? Exactly. You shouldn't have heard the last one. She should be smooth like butter. She should be smooth like Michael Jackson, baby. Guys, it hurts my big toe to moonwalk now. That's how you know you're getting old. There's that big 1/2 incher. There she is. M405, which would be R405. Should be for power steering. Well, that's gonna be a tight fit. Life's about balance sometimes, you know. I remembered that I think the power steering one actually don't go on the inside, it goes out here. So when I tried putting it on there, well, it goes right on the place like it wants to be there. In other news, I said we should put the water pump on with the piece of hose at the same time, and I forgot to do that, so that's good. All right, I'll put us a little tension on here. We'll get this baby snugged up. Slip that on there, and then bend. I did put some looby-dooby in our piece of hose here, so it helps slide on like that right there. It does have a slight kink to her, and I guessed on her length, so that just may mean it's a little too long, or we may be able to squeeze that kink right out of it. Nope. Let's see. Let's trim her down just a hair. Probably too short now. Perfect. Surely that ain't gotta be a little piece of formed hose. There we go, that's a little better. That helped it relax some. Yeah. Water pump reinstalled. I guess technically we ain't gotta put a thermostat in this, but we definitely need a gasket of sort. But more than anything, like I said, this old crusty hose split, taking it off. So we're gonna have to do something about that. We may not be done doing our custom flushing. Look what's coming out of that radiator. Did somebody eat Taco Bell last night? There's more of that in the radiator coming out the bottom too. So she may need the custom flush job as well. You know, it's crazy. All that cracking, that's the rust in there that's coated the inside of that thing. So I've been cracking it all over, trying to pop that stuff free. This came out of there as well. No calcium buildup. They do not have one of these in stock, so the end that ripped, I trimmed it down, test fit it. We can get this back on there, so it's what we're gonna have to use. So we need to flush this, the radiator, and since we're there, we should probably wash this sucker out too. Here we go. Well, initially, she definitely shot some out of there. I guess we can try to plug that with our hand and see if our radiator is leaking like I just suspected it would be. I'm not seeing any leaks. A lot of that radiator being wet is from me splashing it. So that's good. Yeah, once again, we're getting some results here, folks. Oh. Yes, sir. Did you order the chalupa mill? You see all the brown stuff, which is the dirt, and then like those chunks right in there, that's all rust. Let's give her a squeezing again. Watch this. I bet we can get some more. Maybe slam her. There's our biggest rust flake yet. Don't break. Don't break. Well, I guess let's keep this budget coolant restoration going. I'm gonna take our old thermostat and spray her down with some Get Gone degreaser by the sweet patina. Just spraying that on there, that stuff's already rolling off. Go! All right, nylon brush here is pretty forgiving, so you ain't gotta worry about chopping a finger off. She's fairly aggressive, but she ain't overly aggressive. But she's doing a pretty good job of cleaning that sucker up. With her halfway cleaned up, I'm gonna just try heating it up, see if we can see that sucker move or not. Also, this is your pro tip for burning off some more of that rust. There she goes. She's opening. She's opened up, ready to flow and go. Cool her back down and she's shutting. Little wire wheel on the rest of this, and we'll whip us up a gasket here. That little spacer was sitting right here, and quite conveniently, there's a hammer right here. So let me center that up. Let's see if this will work. As you can see, that cut that perfectly. There we go. I cut the center out of our gasket, but before I go back together here, I, as you can see, just backfilled our motor. Thermostat in. Beautiful gasket, right on. Bolt that baby down. Yeah. Now, what I don't know is, as far as this alternator bracket goes, like I said, we're missing some pieces. You know what? Let me check inside the truck just to make sure it ain't in there. Maybe like up underneath the seat or something. She ain't in the bed. Never did check our center console or anything there. You see anything underneath it or behind it? I know somewhere around here I've got small block Chevy alternator bracket. I just don't know if they're the same as the big block. I doubt it. But then again, it would be smart if they would use similar parts where they didn't have to manufacture a bunch of different stuff. I thought I have a bag or a box around here that has some of that. We located, oh, there's something alternator right there. That's different, but that, I bet this bolt's this thing's the same. Hopefully this right here is going to fix us right up. So these brackets usually bolt right there to retain that, and then boom, there's your spacer. Them threads are stripped as strip could be. But we don't have to have a bolt there. That'll still work. I do want it to look like I care, so on this stud here we'll put a shiny new nut. Or I lost the old one. Don't forget your front bracket. That long bolt's got to go through it as well. And we're going to have to move our ground because our ground is going right where that bolt needs to go. We sure got a lot of wires up here, don't we? Ka-chow. That's gonna work out for us, guys. Tighten up the rest of our little brackets there. We obviously can't tighten the top until we get this assembled for this pulley. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw our belt on here. Then we won't have to fish it around the fan. Speaking of that sweet aluminum adapter piece, good thing about this fan is it has the built-in ratcheting device. And dang it, as I just put that on there, I remembered there was a shroud sitting in this seat, but we've gone too far now, can't go back. The most important thing is we are built on baby. There we go. Now we will have a functional, not rattly, not rusty water pump. Upper radiator hose on. Get us a new ground mount right here. Dang, that got a little vibration in the situation. You seen it here first, folks. The world's first bouncing wire wheel. All right, well, my goal with doing that was to obviously get her where she'll hopefully stay cooler than us just trying to run it with no system. And I'm hoping a few heat cycles and running it is obviously gonna help the motor. But also, I think running some stuff through the carburetor is going to help it get better or get worse. So actually, before we fire that up again, why don't we rebuild that sucker? Dang it, I really didn't want to get into that. Here we go. Rebuilt. Just using the classic old rebuild in a can. That is going to get her just, you know, singing a beautiful song, guys. That's all she needs. You think that's going to work? All right, folks, let's see if we can get her running again. Dang, just fire right up and idle. How's that? Yeah, right. Go on, girl. Go on now, get down. I can hear our blown out muffler. No, it's moving. Uh-oh. Look at all the water. Where's that coming from? That side of the motor. It's plumb pouring out from underneath there somewhere. Uh-oh. We got a freeze plug thingy-mabobber out of it, perhaps? Where's that baby puking from? Huh. Where did that leak go? I'm blind, hell if I know. Boy, you can't see deadly from this side, can you? We're going live. What in the world? What in tarnation? Oh boy. Well, she seems to be revving good. Did y'all see where that was pouring out of? It's where our inspection cover is, covering the flex plate. So probably the freeze plug on the very back side of the motor. Good stuff. Yep. This thing's about to hit us with a splash attack. Oh, except we probably can't pull it out of there because that exhaust, I guess. Oh, there she goes. Hey, Ma, Puddin's rear main cell's leaking water. Gotta be a plug up there. I think I can see it. Send in the Borescope. Going up. If y'all can see, but I think that's a plug right up there. And I actually don't see water coming out of that. What the heck, over? Right there's a pretty good view of it, guys. And I had it positioned a minute ago where I could see the whole dang thing. I still don't know where we're leaking. Really, it looks like it's coming out around that seal right there. And we're also dripping up here in this corner, but it looks like it's pushing out right there. So maybe we should drop this baby down and check our dipstick, see what it looks like. Well, survey says, and it just looks like damn oil to me, okay? So that ain't somehow got plumb full of water. I don't know where this damn water's coming from. If it ain't coming from that plug, then obviously there's a chance there could be a crack on the back of that motor somewhere. Let's crawl up from up here and look down the back if we can. Just make sure it ain't running down, which I don't see nothing. I think if it was, yeah, that's a stupid idea. I don't know why I crawled up here. We knew I wasn't gonna see a damn thing. Extended our wire down here for our coil, so that's hot. Let's see if we can fire this bad girl up. What the heck? Hey, Ma, my transmission's peeing. Really, I just wanted to see this flappy muffler. Shit the bed. They were riveting it back together. Y'all see that? What the heck? Well, that really didn't help us out much. She does have a nice little spray pattern that I took to the face as I walked through there. Well, where's all my big block Chevy experts? Where do you think it's coming from? Despite how it may look around here, I really don't feel like pulling another transmission. I've been on a transmission pulling kick here lately. Well, shit the bed. Now we may not have brakes and the motor may be peeing out the back. We have no clue if the transmission's good. It's probably about as good as everything else so far. It's just been dandy. We should definitely just try to get this ignition hooked up where we can kill the truck from inside and drive it. Guys, you only need brakes to stop. You ain't gotta have brakes to drive. And you may need some trans fluid. I turned her key on. No matter what, the blower motor comes on. So I tried plugging our wire into there. Let's see if it'll start with that. It may not be enough voltage. See, she ain't firing. What if we turn it to high? Dang, that would have made my day if that worked. Then we're checking around. This wire right here appears to be 12 volt or 12 volt key on, key off. It's Got enough slack, we'll just wire nut it in. How's that? All right, we've got her now. Top her off with a couple quarts, and let's see what she can do. I don't know how the heck we're gonna record this, because once I get going, I'm basically not gonna be able to stop till we come to a roll in the field. So just the old grocery getter, guys. Don't get shy on me now. All right, let's head to the grocery. We're moving. We're moving. Just as long as we avoid the stout. Pop her into neutral. And we're going for a nice little roll down around the back road here. I don't know if she's still moving or not. Nope. She rolls good. I can tell you that much. I don't know if it's ever gonna come to a stop. She is a rolling machine. She rolls better than she runs. She fired up every time in the shop. Get her out here and she gets bashful on me. What's the deal? Tell y'all what, I'm gonna try to fire her up. If she busts off, we're gonna do one donut and call it a victory. Don't play games with me. Got her to the shop. Whew, as long as you can stay on that gas and keep working it, it was doing all right. I got it up here and kind of neutral, dropped it at a roll, and that finally got her busting them a little more loose. Created the Oklahoma Dust Bowl again. Did y'all see that? Oil pressure was reading good. Like she's got real good oil pressure, so I guess that's kind of a good sign. From the get-go, I mean, obviously the compression's there. So besides the obvious thing being no brakes, which we were gonna try to tackle, except for the other obvious thing, the big old water leak out the back of the motor that we don't really know what's going on there. And other than that, I think a little carburetor work and she would be a pretty decent truck. Now, as far as the P-Paul appearance, we give this thing a solid 12 out of 10. I mean, this thing looks like it's headed up to the donut shop just to grab a cup of coffee because I'm retired and I can. And though she may look the part, I don't think she's quite yet ready to make some trips like that. Well, not that it much matters because she ain't as trustworthy as I was hoping her to be as a rig, but that's part of rolling the dice, guys, not buying something mechanically sound already. You never quite know what you're gonna get. But towards the beginning of this video, we had talked about compression. Well, we did take her through probably at least 3 heat cycles. So just for fun, let's run her through and see what she's doing now. Up first, number 1. A $1.50. Number 3. Ooh, she went up, then she came down. That may be our quality gauge here. Yeah. $1.40. Number 5, $1.50. And number 7, $1.55. Number 8. Yep, I'm a dummy. Gosh darn it. This is gonna be very inaccurate now, because I thought, being the wise guy I am, I'm done on this side. Let me just button it back up, but now she don't crank as good because she's got spark plugs in there. Number 8, $1.45. I asked Mordsky if he knew how many freeze plugs were on the back of a 454. Sent me a picture. It looks like there's a couple back there. So if we got eyeballs on the one, that's probably the one that's fine. The other one back there, I'm guessing is not so fine. That water has to be coming from a freeze plug. Number 6, Dang, she's still up there, $1.60. Number 4. Oh, weak one there. About $1.10. Jeez. I think that was our weak one before. I figured it would come around. And number 2. $1.50. Now I've got the memory of a piece of rock, so I'm trying to remember. $1.45, $1.60, $1.10, and $1.50. So all except number 4. Our lowest is $1.40, and our highest is $1.60. Then we got number 4, who is, well, she wasn't the weakest from the start. It's just dropped a lot for some reason. So on this side, we kind of said my theory where I figured, one, they were all going to kind of drop, those high ones, from having oil in there. But I said they'd probably equalize around like $1.50. And I guess these kind of did as well. Now, let's be honest, guys. That still ain't a real good, accurate reading of that motor because it would need, I would say, to be put on the road for a good week or two. As y'all know, even just like a little piece of carbon breaking free and getting behind the valve can lose your compression, and that's why that one could be down to $1.10 now. So it's still kind of fun to keep eyes on that stuff, and I see some of y'all down in the comments before who's always said, like, I wish you would have done another compression test just to see where it's at. Well, there she is. Well, I believe that's it for this truck, guys. Like I said, I was hoping she wasn't going to be pissing water like that. We would have tried to get some brakes in the thing. Ultimately, it looks like the carburetor was still going to choose to fight me some. But at least now we actually know what we got in this truck. The thing is, guys, sometimes you get quick on the draw, like this pick-em-up truck. I bought it, like I said, thinking I could basically do one for maybe me. But the thing is, I don't even think YouTube would want to watch a build of that. Mainly because if I built one for me, I pretty much want it built like how I built Randy's. So it'd be a repeat build. So I've got 2 things I'm thinking. One is offer it to Dad, which there's a similar truck to Dad that's been offered as well as like a combo thing with Old Roy, because Old Roy is basically a million pieces at this part or at this point, and it almost makes sense to go just with, like, we're starting with fresh everything, which kind of defeats the purpose. I don't know. So that's one option. We could offer it to Dad, see what he thinks about it. Not just as like this, like still building it with our other stuff from Old Roy. Or I would possibly at some point entertain trading it for a similar conditioned, like 67 to 72 that we could do a build on eventually. I kind of keep my eye out for those here or there, especially ochre colored ones. So that's something I'd entertain as well, perhaps. Now, please do not email offering a trade especially if you're not even somewhat reasonable close. Like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm not traveling to Maryland to trade trucks with somebody, okay? We're gonna lose a week's worth of work to travel. It don't make a good video towing a trailer for a week. I don't know what to do with her at this point. I absolutely was in love with her when I found her, and I guess we've just kind of grown apart. Well, that's it, guys. I guess I'm going to figure out what my plan is, maybe. I've obviously got a mess to clean up around here, and I need to throw some spark plugs and get the hood back on that old girl. So thank y'all so much for being here and watching. Hopefully you enjoyed playing with some big blocks, which we don't do too very often. Be sure to check out puddins.fab.shop for all that good quality merchandise. We appreciate all the support there. I'm on the Instagram or the Patreon, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Guys, thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next one. However, do not forget, sitting on your ass will not finish your project.